There is a significant possibility that you heard somewhere that successful people devour books. In fact, more specifically, you have probably heard that most of them read a book every week. Now, the jury is still out on whether or not that figure is accurate, but that successful people read is a certified truth. They just always find a way to squeeze reading time into their busy lives. Whether they're on the toilet, catching a ride, or in the office, they try to read a book. And if they make sure they do this, there have to be reasons why. And all of these reasons are what we'll be exploring in this video. First off, while there are successful people who enjoy their fiction, most of them are big on non-fiction books. And the reason is that while fictional stories could teach you a thing or two, there's something about reading real-life stories that just does it for you. Knowing what you are reading actually happened to a real-life someone somewhere helps you to better absorb and act on the information you are reading. As a result, you would usually find successful people reading biographies, autobiographies, and books on finance, administration, management, and that kind of stuff. Talking about this, I believe that you can already tell why they do this. There is a wealth of knowledge that can be drawn from reading about other people's experiences, their struggles, their processes, their successes, and their failures. And if you want to be privy to all that, you actually have to crack open a book and read. There is absolutely no medal for figuring every single thing out on your own without any help, and successful people know this. This is why they are completely comfortable and even enthusiastic about reading other people's documentation of their lives and successes. They go into these books ready to learn a thing or two that they can make use of. Think about all the information they can gather from reading a variety of books, and you can begin to imagine why they end up doing so well in their businesses. Business ideas, management, and administration tips are not the only reason why reading books is important to your financial health, though. In reading books, you also get to learn and imbibe some habits of successful people, like hard work and diligence. Reading about humans like you who have given themselves to a goal and reading about how they did it could push you to do the same. Nobody is born a hard-working person. Hard work or smart work is learned, and one of the best ways to learn it is by reading of people who have done it and succeeded. When to wake up, when to go to bed, creating to-do lists, who to surround yourself with, and a number of other habits can be learned from reading books. This one is a bit tricky though, because humans are really different, and so the same habits will not work for everybody. However, there is a solution to this. Read a lot of books and try a lot of things. You'll hit on the one that works for you. Now, I know that some people are already saying that movies could easily do all these things for them. That is, they could just watch a movie and get all the success tips and motivation to work that they need. But let's try to be realistic here. Even if we're talking about a biopic, there's only so much information and life lessons that can be crammed into an average of 2 hours runtime. Plus, movie producers have to make the movie actually watchable by padding the plot, which already cuts into the runtime. As a result, a lot of important information would be sacrificed, and it's really no one's fault. So, if you really want to get all the motivation and success tips that you can, you should really invest in good books. You'll find that books are so rich that you have to continually refer to them all your life. What's more, even if you do not get a direct solution to your problem from reading a book, you start to get the sense that most problems have answers, and those answers can be figured out. As you read about people who have faced with seemingly insurmountable problems, navigating their way around the issue time and time again, you learn to be both optimistic and practical. You learn that problems usually have solutions, but you have to put in the effort to find them. That said, in addition to doing whatever it is your business is about, there will definitely be times when you need to make pitches, propositions, and proposals. And trust me when I say that reading could also come in handy. Of course, you can employ someone to do all the writing and speech stuff if you can afford to, but even if you do, it doesn't hurt to be in the know, to have an idea of what you want those proposals and speeches to sound like. You could decide to read books that specifically teach that kind of stuff, or just read regular books. The very act of reading widely in itself would definitely help you improve your writing and speaking skills. That's just how it works. In fact, As you get more successful, you want to continue to improve on your writing and speaking skills because they will become more necessary. You will find yourself having to give more speeches to employees, investors, and even people who are in the position you used to be in. A lot of successful people get invited to schools to give speeches and lectures, and they usually draw from the knowledge that they have gotten from books to be able to rise to the occasion. And it is not just about getting your tenses right and respecting all the laws of Concord, although those are very important. It is also about engaging your audience, making sure that you hold the attention of the people who are listening to you and that they actually understand what you're saying. These things are learned, and they can be learned from reading books. Speaking at functions and formal gatherings is not the only kind of speaking you need to improve on. Successful people know that one of the ways to become and remain successful is by socializing. And trust me when I say that socializing is a skill that needs to be learned. Granted, some people are naturally graced with that ability, but even those people need a bit of refinement, and they can get that refinement from reading books. You learn empathy and how to communicate with people in such a way that they feel seen, and you'll need both of these skills in your relationship with your employees, superiors, colleagues, and customers. That said, if you decide to pick up reading as a habit, make sure to diversify. Read books written by a variety of people from a variety of places with a variety of experiences, and the reason is that as a professional, you want to have a rich and accurate worldview. You want to be able to create products and services that appeal to a variety of people without being offensive. And that is something else you can learn from reading. You get to be up to date, not only with the news, but with what is now considered acceptable in different places around the world. You learn what different people consider respect and how to give it to them. And you also get to keep up to date with what is now considered the best practice in your field. Now, you don't only learn how to make money from reading books, you also learn how to use money. There are many books out there that teach how to save and invest, and even give you different investment opportunities. Most people who are wealthy have written down their insights in books, and it will do you well to study as many of those books as you can. The interesting thing is that even people who have had success with their investments still read books on investment because they admit that they do not know it all. There is a lot of knowledge out there that they do not have, and they have no issues searching them out. You shouldn't either. Now, I know I started this video saying that most successful people favor non-fiction over fiction, and that is true. But that doesn't mean that they do not read fiction at all. Reading made-up stories could also be beneficial to your financial and professional health, and successful people know this. One of the really great things about reading fiction is what it does to your imagination. In reading fiction, you're transported into a make-believe world where basically anything is possible, and that just opens you up to a world of possibilities. You start opening up to new ideas and having thoughts like, maybe these people are onto something. If we just did this thing this way instead of that, it could actually work. Your creative juices just start to flow. Something else that reading fiction, or any other book really, does for you is that it helps you to sharpen your thinking and analytical skills. Skills that you really need if you'll be successful in anything. And it really doesn't matter what the book is about. Just reading it and trying to decide whether it is a well-written book, whether the characters were well developed, and or whether the plot is a good one, is a good exercise for your analytical skills. Now, from the title you know that this video is not just about reading, but about reading every day. And the reason for this is to form a habit. You want reading to be one of your daily activities such that you are learning something new or learning a new way to do something old every single day. The world continues to change every day, and we all need to keep up. I really do hope that all that has been said so far has encouraged you to want to pick up a book today. If it has, the purpose of this video isn't yet complete, because the desire to read is not all that's needed. You also need a strategy, especially if reading isn't your thing at all. Now, like with basically every habit you want to pick up, you need to start small. Before you tackle the 300 or even 200-page books, try a 50 or 100-word book. This way, you won't scare yourself with your very first book, and the feeling of satisfaction you get from finishing one book will encourage you to pick up another. In addition to that, consider starting with books that are conversational. They're usually easier to read, especially for someone who is new to the reading scene. And if you're looking for what books to read, just ask around or go to your local library and ask for a recommendation. One last thing, penciling in reading time into your schedule could work because of consistency. But in addition to that, you should always have a book on your person, whether paper or Kindle. This way, you can sneak in a read whenever you have free time. Everybody is busy, so we basically just do the best that we can. And that is it for today's video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I post a new video.